Shop the Sherwin-Williams Super Sale and get 40% off paints and stains September 19th through the 24th. With prices starting at $29.39, it's the perfect time to transform your space with color. Whether you're looking to revamp your interior or exterior, we have you covered with bold hues, soothing neutrals, and everything in between. Visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store or shop the sale online. Delivery available on qualifying orders. Click the banner to learn more. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Hey, Garage Logic fans, Mishke here, slipping in ever so briefly to mention that I have a podcast that comes out every Wednesday and every Friday, twice a week now. The show is pretty much about everything you care about and are interested in and need in your life and want to know more about. I tailored the darn thing specifically to your liking. I tailored it to your loves, to your true passions. That took a long time. I'm spent. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely wasted.
Arnold Investment Consultant brings you Garage Logic Podcast number 1623, September 19th, 2025. It was 94 degrees for a record high on this day. That was in 1895, and it was as chilly as 33 degrees in 1991, perhaps a little foreshadowing of the blizzard that would hit that year on Halloween. Call Josh Arnold at 952-925-5608 for a free 48-minute consultation.
Hail the flashlight king.
Hail you!
And now, from the mayor's office above the boathouse on the east shore of Spoon Lake, it's Garage Logic with Chris Reavers manning Technology Corner, Kenny Olson from the Krabby Coffee Shop, John Heidt in the newsroom, and, of course, the Rookie. Here is your flashlight king, fireworks commissioner, and the keeper of common sense, your mayor, Joe Soucheray.
Are you going to go color or black and white on your Trump portrait? I think I'm going to go color. If you did not know this...
Yeah, you got to go black and white, sir. That's too much orange.
Well, it was released today. It was released today by the White House Communications Office that Americans will be required to display a photograph of Trump in their living rooms. You have the choice of black and white or color. I'm going. I've always liked the one where he's in his tennis sweater.
Oh, yes. Yeah, it's a little more casual.
You don't see tennis sweaters that much anymore.
Never.
So I find that one particularly charming. I am going to go with the tennis sweater color version.
Would it be disrespectful if I had a la Joe Soucheray at the or at the fair, one of those fan things?
Yeah.
And then wherever I go, I would post him like if I'm camping or if I'm out in the woods deer hunting or wherever I go, I'd have him with me.
If it's done with respect and you call him sir, then you could do it. John, are you going color or black and white?
Well, you got to go color, right?
Yeah.
You got to get the orange stuff on the face. I mean,
he has committed the most mortal sin you can commit as a president.
Let me
Now,
take
mortal
inventory.
sins are the bad ones, right?
That's the ones you got to be accounted for.
This ain't venial.
Okay.
This is...
Venial is kind of like sin light.
Yeah, it's kind of...
Major, like dengue.
You get over it pretty quick.
Okay, got it.
this is Catholic talk here.
Yeah.
He told reporters flying home from London that he thinks that he should be only spoken well of on TV.
Okay, Chairman Mao.
Mm-hmm. He suggested, he didn't say he would do this. He didn't have to. He suggested networks should lose their broadcast license if they criticize him. Hey, you grotesquerie. This isn't North Korea.
Right.
Are you kidding me?
What would move him to say that and truly believe that?
I have told you 1,000 times. Something happened to him in the forest at the age of 6 or 7.
The forest?
Well, the woods behind his house. No, there is something wrong that stunted his growth. Something is wrong. He made the suggestion while answering questions aboard Air Force One, as well as once again stating He won all 7 swing states. He said 97% of the TV networks are against me, but I won. Well, then what are you complaining? You won.
You need to win with grace.
He said, I read someplace that the networks were 97% against me, 97% negative, and yet I won easily. Won all 7 swing states. I won everything. If they're 97% against, they give me only bad publicity. I think they're getting a license. I would think maybe that license should be taken away. And that would be up to Brendan Carr, he said. Brendan Carr is the FCC commissioner. Look, let me read you some emails.
Hold on a second. I had to look it up. I was curious. This comes from hanging around with John too long. A sin is considered to be mortal when its quality is such that it leads to a separation of that person from God's saving grace.
That's what this is. That's what this is. This is mortal. Let me read you some emails here. Well, here's one. Jack Nelson, 24 years ago, Bill Maher was fired by ABC, just like Jimmy Kimmel. ABC fired one of their talk show hosts for a single comment that outraged most Americans. I'm not talking about Jimmy Kimmel. I'm talking about Bill Maher. And that happened exactly 24 years ago. Maher had a talk show on ABC in the same time slot as Kimmel's show today. It was called Politically Incorrect. And on that show, he said that the 9/11 terrorists were not cowards. This was a week after the 9/11 terror attacks, and his comment, like Kimmel's, was incredibly insensitive. The blowback was immediate, and Maher was fired by ABC. The firing of Maher wasn't the end of free speech in America. It wasn't even the end of Bill Maher's career. He got a new show on HBO, and he's still there. The firing of Maher did not stop people from calling President Bush a dictator, a warmonger, and, of course, Hitler. Well, I don't think Bush had anything to do with firing Maher, though. Criticism of Trump will continue unabated regardless of what ABC does. I would argue that 2001, with the terroristic murder of almost 3,000 Americans, was far more emotionally disruptive than that which we are going through today. Okay, Jack Nelson, it's apples and oranges. I don't think any. See, who was the W was the president 24 years ago, and I don't recall, nor I defy anyone to provide me with evidence that he questioned the licensing of television stations, and the reason for the questioning is because they didn't like him and he wanted them to say good things about him. That's what Trump's doing. That has nothing to do with Bill. Private companies can. The First Amendment does not affect the decision of a private company to fire somebody. They can fire you. They don't like you. They don't like what you said. You're gone.
Their First Amendment is cash flow.
Their belief is their business. Their business. And Maher was causing ABC trouble. They said, "See you later." No one was suggesting that Maher was not allowed to speak or must only speak favorably of Bush. That wasn't the case. He made an error, misreading the tone of the country at the time, and saying that ridiculous thing, and so ABC fired him. ABC has every right in the world to fire anybody they want.
Right.
So that's not what we're discussing today. GLers, you're smarter than that.
Well, wait a minute. There's no proof that Trump or the FCC had Kimmel fired.
Well, there is proof that Trump is wondering whether the licenses should be withdrawn from television news stations that don't flatter him.
I'm not disputing that.
There's proof. There's proof. We hear him say
There's proof of that. But there is not proof about the Kimmel firing, at least not yet. There's a whole lot of speculation.
He sounds like a Spalding when he says that stuff. He just sounds like a spoiled brat that he doesn't need to comment on. Shut up.
Thank you.
Yeah. He doesn't have people that are capable of telling him that, though.
I'm telling you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay.
That
works.
That job requires probably the thickest skin in the entire world.
Well, people would argue that he does have thick skin. He's called Hitler, and he's been charged with 1 million crimes, and he keeps fighting forward, and that's an example of his. Sorry, but I'm done with the show, writes Jeff Arendt. Sorry, I'm done with the show. I've only listened to the podcast for 5 or 6 months, but I listened to GL on AM radio for decades. Joe, your case of TDS rivals Kimmel. Oh, and I love how Matt called him thin-skinned. This man has been compared to Hitler since 2016. Funny thing, I was interested in the Mary Moriarty conversation and the health stabilization, housing stabilization services fraud case, but then the TDS from this show turned me off, and I turned the show off. I know I'm only one listener, but I'm one listener that will never again listen to the show nor hear any of your advertisements. Good luck without me. Well, Jeff, we'll try to get along, but I bet $1,000 you're listening right now. You, too, missed the point. The most egregious thing a president can threaten is, you must obey me. I will determine what you can say. Go bleep yourself, you fat-ass grotesquerie. That's not going to happen. It can't happen. Do I realize that it's happened before? Oh, I'm supposed to understand that Obama, who I am not a fan of Obama. I think Obama blew any chance at all he had for improving race relations in this country. Yes. Didn't Obama get Rosie? What's the fat woman's name?
Rosie O'Donnell?
Roseanne Barr. Didn't he got her off? He got her off the air,
or threatened to.
Yeah. No, she was off. She left.
Well, here's the irony with Jeff's email. Jeff gets to choose not to listen to this podcast.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
that's his choice.
Yeah, listen to what Trump tells you to listen to, Jeff. Then you'll be better off.
Wow. Is that irony, or is that just coincidence?
Well, the other irony is that this is it's not much of a Republican Party anymore, but Trump was the anti-woke campaigner. He was the anti-cancel culture campaigner. Oh, what's he doing now? He's canceling. Or wishes to.
Just for the sake of getting everything right, Roseanne
Barr.
We're
going to have about 3 listeners
Jump
by
in the
Monday.
deep end, Johnny. Come on in.
Roseanne Barr was on the air until 2018. Donald Trump was president then. And then she made a comment that some people took as racist, writing that Valerie Jarrett, an African-American reporter for ABC, had a baby that looked like it came from the Planet of the Apes.
Oh, what a
that
dummy.
led ABC to fire her. She apologized, but it was too late.
What network?
How do you say something like that by accident?
ABC.
ABC. Again, every right in the world to fire her.
Well, for sure.
You're going to cost me money, you moron. You're gone. Private companies can do whatever they want with their employers. Well, there are guidelines, but you could be fired for cause in Roseanne Barr's case. I don't know about Kimmel.
Johnny, I'm glad you brought that up, because while that series has continued, I always wondered why she wasn't, invited back. But now that I remember that she said that, there's no way.
I don't want to talk about Roseanne Barr. Roseanne Barr is a non-factor.
Got it.
Non-factor.
But have you watched the interview Trump gave flying back? He stands in the doorway of the plane, and he's, to his credit, he's always accessible.
Maybe too accessible.
Well, he just loves to be accessible, and he is. And he's lecturing these people about, they're not saying nice things about me. Well, so what? Well, he can't. That's not the way he operates. So that's why I'm going with the tennis sweater photo. I'm going to be compelled to have,
laid back,
because I think it suggests a calmer and a younger Trump.
Plus, you think he goes to the Air Force One press corps and they say, we don't have any questions. He's like, no, ask me a question. Ask me. We don't have it. No, come on.
Ask me anything.
Ask me anything. What do you want to know?
Because I know everything.
Yes.
I wonder where your domestic associate wants to hang this photo.
Yeah, is that above the fireplace, or are we going in the garage? Or
well, it's going to be it'll be a national law. So whether you have TDS or not, you have to display the photo.
You're going to be told what room it can go in.
It'll be. We'd like to see your picture, please.
Yeah, I'm going to put mine above the fireplace.
Okay.
Yeah. That way it won't be missed when they come to check.
Got it.
Right.
Got it.
Look at Reavers. He's going out of his mind. You know, the hell with this. This is ridiculous to live like this. No, and I will say this. Like everything else with Trump, nothing will come of this. Of course you're not going to be ordered to have a photo in your house. And of course people can still go on television and rip the hell out of him. This is him being Trump, flying home and he had 10 minutes to kill. He'll say something else outlandish tomorrow.
Well, now you're talking yourself out of it.
Well, I don't think I'm going to be ordered to display his photo.
Well, are you yelling at yourself?
I'm allegiance to anyone except GL.
There you go.
And they don't get it.
There you go.
Well, most do. A select few don't.
Why do GLers think I'm supposed to be a Trumper? I'd be a Trumper if he was a decent human being. Because I like some of the stuff he does, but he's a maniac.
I think Rook just made a good point, though. It's not everybody, Joe. It's a select amount of GLers who may take issue with some of the things you say. The large amount of GLers probably are fine with it.
Just a minute. What are you laughing about in the back? Huh?
I think he's laughing at the fact that you're yelling at yourself.
You're covering all the time.
You're covering both sides of the debate.
Absolutely.
He's doing
with
Mrs. Doubtfire. He's Joe, and then he dresses up like the lady over here. Then he goes back to Joe.
If you want to debate yourself, we'll just turn off our mics, Joe.
Yes.
Well,
you know how that goes.
We live in very strange times, and the president is a big part of how strange it is. In fact, he's the main part of how strange it is. And I'm no fan of Chuck Schumer. See, I'm a GLer, so I find fault wherever I look.
Right.
You just mentioned what I hate. Don't put me in the position of agreeing with that asswipe.
Yeah, it's just
God,
terrible.
I was so mad when I read his quote.
Yeah.
God, that made me mad.
Yeah. Well, do you want his quote?
Well, I mean, we may as well. We got to background everybody who didn't read the quote. All I read was the headline. I can't go any deeper than that. And I did one of these where you smack your foot. Yeah. What has happened? What's happening here?
It's repulsive that the Trump administration is perversely using this awful death, meaning Kirk, to supercharge their longstanding campaign against political opponents, said Chuck Schumer. Yeah. I think the safest, this is me now answering myself.
Okay. I'm glad you're doing that. Because yourself was asking the question.
Joe, let me tell you something, Joe. Okay. Like Steve Cannon, didn't he do his...
Hi, gang.
Ed Morgan here.
And Ma. And Backlash, don't forget me. Backlash.
No, it's Trump. He's a heavy-winded BSer, and he killed 10 minutes flying home from London telling these people that the TV network should only say good things about him. That's not going to happen. It's not going to come about. I get that. But, don't play Kim Jong-il when you're riding on a plane I have to pay for. How's that?
Okay.
For some reason...
Do you like your answer that you answered
Joe,
yourself to?
I like that answer.
Okay, good.
For some reason, and I could be wrong, probably am, I see Trump before the tape started rolling going to a reporter, hey, come here. You want to light them up?
Yeah.
Want to have some fun?
Yeah.
Roll tape. And then when they stop taping, he'll say, that ought to get him. That ought to get him going.
I can see that. I can see that.
Because a lot of stuff that he says that really makes people angry just makes me laugh. But again, world leader, big country.
Dan Schultz in Buckley, Washington. Good morning. While I share your concerns over the possibility that Trump and or the FCC held the merger approval over the head of Disney, ABC, it still hasn't affected Jimmy Kimmel's right to free speech. I'm aware of that. He has the same rights that he had before the suspension. He can walk out his front door and say whatever he wants to the world. For that matter, I'm sure he'd be welcomed on any of the dozens of news and commentary shows on any of the networks to say whatever he wants. I agree. I actually wouldn't be surprised if ABC has been looking for an excuse to drop him on account of, you want to know why? As you were discussing yesterday, he has minimal viewership, even within the 50% of the country that agrees with him, and he apparently has no interest in increasing his audience. Isn't it generally a goal of most TV and radio shows to continually increase their audience? Yes. We said that yesterday. What a weird business plan. I'm going to put a primetime late-night television, I guess primetime and late-night are an oxymoron. I'm going to put a late-night talk show on designed to only talk to half the country. That's a really lousy business plan.
Right.
Now, Dan Schultz, he mailed something else yesterday.
We need to break that habit, don't we? We need to break that habit.
I've been told by the experts that put together and pay for podcasts that if you want a successful podcast, you have to pick a lane, a la Purple Daily.
Yeah. We have picked a lane.
They're kicking ass, by the way.
That's my question. What is your lane?
I answered this question yesterday.
Say it again.
You said the same damn thing.
Say it again.
My lane is to solve the mystery through the common sense of garage logic. To not only reveal the mystery, but attempt to solve it. I know what you're doing.
My lane is just
I have one more email.
Have a good lunch and have a good show.
And then visit the middle stall.
Yep.
Dan wrote yesterday, out here in the shadow of Mount Rainier, I was listening to the podcast and the discussion about the misgendering, and something profound struck me. If you call yourself non-binary, wouldn't that imply you're somehow singular? How can you possibly refer to yourself as a they, them? That's plural. Maybe I'm just stuck in some sort of antiquated construct of grammar, biology, and physics. Just wondering while riding my mower, Dan Schultz, Buckley, Washington. P.S. By the way, we also now have the distinction of the state with the highest gas prices, hovering around $4.65 a gallon. Somehow we have passed California. State of Washington. $4.65, that would be for regular, I would imagine.
Yeah.
You know, if you ride an electric bike, you don't worry about gas. You'd worry about... I had a dream that I was driving an electric bike, but it was plugged in, and the extension cord was just endless. Every time
it didn't jolt you back?
Every time I turned around, the cord just kept coming with me. It was miles and miles long.
I'd hate to ride a bike like that.
That's not the case with the electric bikes at EcoFun Motorsports in Forest Lake / Columbus. Right on Highway 97, immediately west of the interstate. It's probably the electric bike capital of Minnesota, if not the world, and they've got them, and there's plenty of good riding left. They also have great motorcycles, scooters, youth recreational gas-powered equipment. Those little 4x4s that would be cool for a little kid, and there's means where the parents can adjust the speed and tell the kid, of course, who's smarter than the parent will figure that out. But it's a wonderful, wonderful toy store, and helmets, apparel, great service department. Also an EcoFun Motorsports in Burnsville on the Service Road of Life near County Road 42. You will really enjoy your visit to EcoFun Motorsports, Highway 97, immediately west of 35 in Forest Lake, and down in Burnsville on the Service Road of Life near County Road 42, and a great website, ecofunmotorsports.com.
Lowe's knows how to help make your home holiday ready for less. Get Select Style Selections vinyl flooring for just $1.99 per square foot and have it installed before the festivities begin. Our team can help you every step of the way. See a Lowe's Red Vest associate or visit Lowe's.com/holiday install to get started. Lowe's, we help, you save. Basic install only. Date restrictions apply. Subject to availability. Installed by independent contractors. See associate for details. Contiguous U.S. only.
Audible's romance collection has something to satisfy every side of you. When it comes to what kind of romance you're into, you don't have to choose just one. Fancy a dalliance with a duke, or maybe a steamy billionaire. You could find a book boyfriend in the city and another one tearing it up on the hockey field. And if nothing on this earth satisfies, you can always find love in another realm. Discover modern rom-coms from authors like Lily Chu and Allie Hazelwood, the latest romantasy series from Sarah J. Maas and Rebecca Yarros, plus Regency favorites like Bridgerton and Outlander. And of course, all the really steamy stuff. Your first great love story is free when you sign up for a free 30-day trial at audible.com/Wondery. That's audible.com/Wondery.
This is Ricey. You've been hearing my friend Josh Arnold, Mr. Money Talk, for years on the radio and the Garage Logic podcast. With summer coming on, I strongly recommend you sit down with Josh for your no-cost, no-obligation, 48-minute consultation on your investments, including your IRA and 401k. You can benefit from Josh's years of experience navigating different market and economic conditions, and he'll always give you straight talk, not sugar-coated advice. Give Josh a call now at 952-925-5608 and book your no-cost, no-obligation 48-minute consultation. 952-925-5608. You'll be glad that you did meet with Josh, and tell him that Ricey sent you.
For you today, Matthew, and now I forgot it. I should have texted you. Oh!
Yeah.
Got it. Tell me
It's
later.
the end of the world as we know it, and he feels fine. Joe Souchere.
Can I do a little aside before I launch into my plea about gator hooks? Talking to a GLer earlier today, and he said gator hooks, this is an analogy, gator hooks reminds him of Gorilla Tape and Gorilla Glue. It came out and everybody was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. And then they tried it and then they went, oh my word, it's so much better. And that's the same thing with GatorMagnetics.com. If you're tired of a cluttered garage, sheds that are messy, tools you can never find, you need gator hooks. Now, if you like everything in its place and like to keep things tidy, you really need gator hooks. Say goodbye.
Here, can I tell you something?
Yeah. Tell me, please.
Two things.
Yeah.
You could use it in the house.
You can use them.
You can move it around so you're tired of the way your storage looks. Bing, bang, boom, change it.
Every time I put a nail in the wall or a peg or something to hang something up, it's never in the right spot. I have to pull it out, and then I got a hole. With gator hooks, you can move them all over, and they have these steel panels now that they
The
sell.
system.
You could basically hang a car from these hooks.
46 pounds, Matt. Do you have any tools that weigh 46 pounds? I don't.
No.
But these panels, 46 by 16, this wall kit with steel panels and hooks, a really good price, $204 with promo code GL20. Perfect for anywhere. I mean, like Such said, laundry rooms, basements, mud rooms, your van, workshops. I got this GL kit with the promo code GL20 last week, and I'll be getting more. Once you try them, you'll wonder why you didn't get them earlier. It's the Garage Logic wall bundle system from Gator Magnetics. Go to GatorMagnetics.com, click on the GL tab, just $204. Make sure you enter that promo code GL20 at checkout. It will change your life. GatorMagnetics.com.
Let's test out Gabe here. Can I have some sort of fanfare?
Oh, boy.
Some sort of celebratory fanfare sounder.
I know that rush of adrenaline when you have no idea how to do it.
Well, it's over there. You just
See,
press
Gabe,
a button.
you know what's really nice about
Just
being able
press
to
a
sit
button.
here is the fact that this wasn't discussed before we got back on the
You know
air.
what? It never will be.
On account of, you want to know why?
I'll tell you why. Point of privilege.
What's your pronoun?
Well, here we go. There it is, see? We have our 56th defendant in the food fraud pleading guilty. Abdullahi Nurjasau, 65, was set to stand trial next month, but now becomes the 56th defendant to enter a guilty plea in what federal prosecutors have called the largest pandemic-related fraud scheme in the country. Jassau and his co-conspirators submitted paperwork purporting to serve meals to thousands of children 7 days a week from a place they called Academy for Youth Excellence. It operated out of a banquet hall from December 2020 to September 2021. Academy for Youth Excellence claimed to have served 1.7 million. 1.7 million meals. and they billed $4.3 million. And they got it from the incompetent dodos that work in our state government.
There's a lot of hungry kids.
Who I don't think are crooks. I just think they've been hoodwinked.
Bamboozled.
Anyway, that's our ray of hope. Do you know what is perversely fascinating?
Here's today's ray of hope.
Look at that kid. He's like a robot.
Timing is everything, isn't it? You know what's perversely fascinating? Watching Walz get handed a new file containing new fraud. For example, the House Stabilization Services, which has caused U.S. Attorney Joe Thompson to say, I can't believe what I'm seeing here. So, and then fraud gets this new, Walz gets this, it is. Walz gets this new fraud reported to him, and he has to excuse himself to go out and pretend he's a regular guy by patting the fender of his prop international scout while they film him for a new campaign ad.
Or
he is obtuse.
Or it's sleight of hand. He goes out and freaks out on Trump so we don't focus on the fraud.
Yeah, right.
It's absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
That's my ray of, I have a ray of hope.
Oh. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Here's today's ray of hope.
This Joe Thompson, he might single-handedly save the state of Minnesota. He's the acting U.S. attorney for the state of Minnesota, and he has the unique feature of being a native Minnesotan. So he knows that this state once functioned, and he's looking at this fraud, and he can't believe it.
Can't get his arms around it.
He said this is, and here's the amazing part. He says we're still at the tip of the iceberg. Mm-hmm. So my question, which I've been warming to, I'm still not ready to say our leaders are crooks. I think they've been bamboozled, pickpocketed, frisked, left in a frenzy, don't know what they're doing. They're all incompetent. And the agency heads that Trump, another Freudian slip, that Walz appoints, they've left when things get too fraudy. They just leave.
It smells fraudy around here.
Yeah, this place is fraudy. They just leave. Where was I going?
I don't know. As you collect your thoughts, though, I am sent a text that 3 hours ago on his Facebook page, Governor Tim Walz said Minnesota just earned a AAA bond rating. That's basically an 850 credit score for the state, thanks to responsible budgeting and strong fiscal management.
Well, there is no strong fiscal management. He's a liar. It's a distraction. He's a complete fabricator.
Yeah.
And, I know where I was going. I was warming the idea that possibly there is malfeasance among the highest officials in the state. I'm still not ready to go there. But I have every confidence, and this is the ray of hope, that nothing will stop Thompson from going there if he has to. If that's what he finds out, you're going to hear about it.
Jumpin' Joe is exactly what we need. He doesn't answer to anyone in Minnesota state government. That's what this state needs.
And, Tim, you can run out there and lovingly caress your prop scout and pretend you're a regular guy as often as you want. That ain't going to stop Thompson from getting to the bottom of this. And I can't wait. I just can't wait because he will. This housing stabilization services, Channel 5's been doing a good job. All the news stations have been dragged reluctantly into it. I don't think Channel 5 was dragged reluctantly. I think they were ahead of the curve with 4 and 11 and others. They've been dragged into it, but they're on it now. There is incredible footage of a row of office doors at the Griggs Midway Center right over here on University.
Yep.
And they have names on the office doors like Butterfly Happiness, LLC, we're going to fix your couch and all this BS. $100 million has been stolen from health stabilization. And that's he's just starting on health stabilization. He's coming off, he's got food fraud going as his main event. Health stabilization has just been dumped in his lap. It's $100 million stolen. And as I said yesterday, they treat it with no more regret or embarrassment than forgetting to bring the mustard to a picnic. It just doesn't seem to. None of them even have the good sense to be nervous.
Yeah.
Which makes you wonder why this Eric Grumdahl apparently got fired. He was the assistant commissioner in DHS who had under his purview health stabilization services. To my knowledge, he is the first Walz employee during the long tenure of Walz fraud to actually suffer a consequence. Heather Mueller got to leave. Jody Harpstead got to leave. Just keep shuffling the pieces around on the chessboard. Right. This guy, what the hell did he do? He got canned.
I want to know what he did to get canned.
Well, now, but that conveniently excused him from appearing before the fraud committee the very next day.
Something's rotten in Denmark.
Yeah. Investigators come through the front door. He's exiting through the back door.
He's already in his Prius, tearing, as fast as a Prius can go.
He filled up his bug-out box just minutes
What the hell did this poor Grumdahl do?
Well, I wouldn't say poor.
Well, I know, but he's really got to be thinking, everybody else got to just wait till the wind filled their sails and they split. And I got fired.
Isn't there I don't know, maybe you know, a Public Information Act something? Shouldn't we know why? Aren't we allowed to know why?
No, in fact, they say the personnel laws prevent them from telling us.
Yeah, and the acting DHS commissioner said wouldn't say if he was fired or quit, so we don't even,
That's Shireen Gandhi,
Correct,
and she's made herself reasonably well available for cameras and interviews and has said absolutely not 5 words of substance.
Yeah.
Since Jody Harpstead left in February.
You know what? That says a lot.
Mm-hmm. She has said, yes, I forgot the mustard, and we have plans in place to not forget the mustard as we go forward. That's so. Yeah. That's about all you're getting from her. She used to be head of the budgeting and financial side of DHS. You'd think she'd know more than.
Yeah.
Well,
she does.
Back to Walz. It's perverse to watch him. He seems confident that people don't give a bleep about this. Now, unfortunately, many don't. But this is, according to Thompson, he said, I prosecute a lot of this stuff. He said, I've never seen anything like this. This is the flood. It's a flood.
Do you predict for the debates or for the campaign that this might come up and then in the first debate and then it goes away?
No, I don't think this will ever go away until we're going to get to the bottom of it. And I have renewed hope and enthusiasm with Thompson in place that we're going to get to the bottom of it.
Matthew, the one mistake you're making is you're making the mistake that Walz will even debate.
Okay, good point.
Like he didn't last time. He did it once, and we never heard from him again.
Why does he get this
Come
pass?
on the show, Walsey. Come on.
He'll say yes.
All he has to do to get votes from the sycophants is keep railing against the president.
Yeah, he's running against Trump.
Yeah.
Again.
As is Omar Fateh.
Well, that's because they don't have any ideas. They have nothing to offer. What could Walz possibly offer the citizens of this state after 2 failed terms? What could he possibly say? But he's got his answer. He can rail against Trump. And he can rail against, like the fool he was, ripping Musk when his state retirement funds are heavily invested in Tesla. He's a moron.
He might just run on, I'm just going to keep doing, everything's level. Everything is on autopilot right now. I don't have to do anything with Minnesota.
Yeah.
Here's a thought that I probably shouldn't vocalize.
Oh.
Could Fateh...
That's not going to stop him.
Ones.
That's not going to stop him.
Right.
Point of privilege.
Yeah.
Could Fateh's association with fraudsters, could he somehow spin that into a positive?
Yeah. I've been part of the Walz administration.
I deal with everybody.
I know these fraudsters.
I know how this works. Take advantage of this great weather. Take advantage of any great weather before the snow flies to get your garage door taken care of, whether you need a new door or your current door tuned up for winter. Let Precision Garage Door be your garage door guy. They have new doors. They have models for every budget. You call them up, go online. They send out a designer free of charge. You can end up with a new door, which increases the aesthetics and saves energy and improves security. If you're happy with the door you have, they got a wonderful deal called the Noisy Door Tune-Up Special for $149. That's about a $300 value. They get a 25-point safety inspection, diagnostic, full garage door tune-up, rollers replaced with ultra-quiet rollers. That's a value of close to $300. Get ready for the cooler weather ahead. Annual maintenance reduces future wear and breakdowns. You don't want to go out there on Christmas morning and the garage door won't open. Take care of what you have or get a new one. Book online at precisiondoormn.com. or call Precision Door at 612-263-6985 to schedule your free on-site new door estimate or book a Noisy Door tune-up special.
Maybe a train wreck.
The earth is not your mother. The Joe Souchere Show.
Awaken180weightloss.com. I was actually just asked about this down in the lunchroom today. And you know what? I'm already down like 7.5 pounds. It's been fantastic. Nice. And you know what? It's a program that really works. And it's that type of momentum that'll convince you to do the same thing. It's proven to work for over 800,000 people. It's the proven weight loss program that's built for anyone. There's no medications. There's absolutely no workouts required. There's also no fasting. It's a clear daily plan. You eat to lose weight. Yeah, that's right. You also get one-on-one weekly coaching for accountability and also adjustments, which I've had to do these past couple of weeks. And your one-on-one coaching is going to help pick out restaurants. That at-home program is available and easy to stay on track anywhere through their really easy-to-use app. You can still go on vacation. You can still go out. You can still tailgate. You can even still have drinks and stay on your plan. So check them out online today. It's awaken180weightloss.com, 180, awaken180weightloss.com, or call them directly for that consultation at 844-346-1800 and tell them GL sent you.
Here's John Heidt.
Thanks, Joe. This news brought to you by North American Banking Company. Law enforcement heads speaking out this morning in opposition to that new policy from Hennepin County Attorney Mary Moriarty to not prosecute felonies that arise from low-level traffic stops. Minnetonka Police Chief Scott Borboom, president of the Hennepin County Chiefs of Police Association, called the new policy deeply troubling and said it puts officers in an impossible position to do their jobs. Borboom said the policy paints every community with the same broad brush. It was made without consultation, without collaboration, and without respect for those of us that serve these residents every day. Moriarty's office says the new policy is designed to disincentivize police from pulling drivers over for minor infractions like broken taillights, expired tabs, or having an item dangling from the rearview mirror as a pretext for searching their cars. Felonies connected to dangerous driving behaviors, including speeding, drunken driving, distracted driving, and blowing red lights or stop signs, she says, will still be prosecuted. At this morning's press conference, Hennepin County Sheriff DeWanna Witt pushed back on what she called a blanket policy. She said nearly half of the 377 illegal guns confiscated in Hennepin County this year were from traffic stops. She said when we're talking about wanting to prevent bad things from happening, wanting to prevent further shootings, we need to support to have the tools that we need to get those bad actors out of our communities. The Minnesota Police and Peace Officers Association also voiced opposition to the policy, calling it a gift to criminals and a slap in the face to law-abiding Minnesotans.
John, point of privilege. Brian Matura has a good point. Do we remember Mary's quote when she announced she was not going to seek a second term? In other words, Mary warned us of this. In a statement, Moriarty said that rather than running for re-election next year, she is instead choosing to focus on creating enduring change in the system over the remaining 17 months of her term. And then Brian writes, not prosecuting low-level traffic stops is the enduring change in the system she was referring to. We can expect more of this as she lights a fuse and runs the other way in her remaining months in office. I think that's right on. Point of privilege, that's right on.
More than 2 years after Minnesota legalized recreational marijuana, the first off-reservation cannabis shops have finally opened. Legacy Cannabis opened its doors Tuesday in Duluth at 420. Get it?
I think I do.
420.
This smells fraudy to me. This smells fraudy.
It's been a long process to get to this point. Marijuana possession was legalized back in 2023, but licensing to allow retail sales took a long time thanks to a lot of hiccups. That meant only tribal nations were allowed to sell recreational cannabis over the past couple of years. Green Goods also began adult use sales in the Twin Cities, Moorhead, Hermantown, and Rochester on Tuesday. And Rise Dispensaries is set to open several locations around the state this week. Several more shops are sure to open in the coming months and years, and new state agreements will allow additional tribal-run dispensaries outside of reservations. A student is in custody in connection with the bomb threat that was sent to Osseo Learning Center on Thursday morning, according to Brooklyn Park Police. Officers responding to the school at about 7:50 in the morning after the school got the email saying that a bomb had been planted inside and was set to detonate. The school was evacuated, a bomb-sniffing canine brought in, but no bombs or explosive materials were found. A student was arrested for threats of violence and is in custody at the Juvenile Detention Center.
That dog's got a bad job. You know, got to be the dog that finds the bomb, you know.
Yeah.
And local law enforcement in southeast Minnesota say a person of interest who prompted 3 schools to enter a lockdown yesterday morning has been found. 55-year-old Daniel James Lewison was taken into custody at 6:03 last evening, according to the Dodge County Sheriff's Office. Sheriff said that Lewison had videotaped himself in front of an area high school while making threats against several Dodge County deputies, a former Dodge County criminal prosecutor, and a former judge. According to statements from the school districts, Byron Public Schools, Hayfield Community Schools, and one other all entered brief lockdowns. Each district said they had been advised by their local law enforcement department to enter lockdown and follow security protocols. The Olmsted County Sheriff's Office said it was in contact with local schools and didn't think there was any direct threat or active threat after they found no explosives.
Dakota, Dodge, and Douglas are your D counties.
Law enforcement said the schools were put into lockdown out of caution since the man filmed himself outside of a school. And following a statement in May, we talked about this when it happened, I think, announcing it would be taking a step back. Love Your Melon is back, with its ownership now back in the hands of one of its original founders. In a press release, it was announced that Zachary Quinn, one of the original creators of Love Your Melon, had reacquired ownership from Wynn Brands Group. Quinn said, "It's personal, and it always has been. We started this company at our college and apartment with a simple idea to give a hat to every child battling cancer. That mission still drives everything we do. Now with my family by my side, we're bringing LYM back to its roots and building towards something even bigger." With ownership back in Quinn's hands, the brand will be known as LYM, following its relaunch later this fall. Quinn promises that the Buy One, Give One program, which provides a beanie to a child battling cancer, will return, featuring both classic and new products. The first drop of new products begins next Monday at 10 o'clock our time. Why don't we take a quick break here and hear from our friend, Mr. Olson.
No, John, let's hear from GLer Doug, who sent an email I received this morning regarding Seafoam. Doug says, "Can't say enough about Bugs Be Gone, because on account of, you want to know why? I recently had to go to Mandan, that's in the upper Dakotas, for work. On the way back, I encountered swarms of bugs that I have never experienced before. The next morning, after many attempts to clean up a stinking, crusted mess, I went into town, got me some Bugs Be Gone, went home, sprayed down the truck. The results were amazing. Everything you promised. I also converted to Deep Creep, which I use constantly at work. I found a great use for it. I recently picked up a Japanese rifle made in 1934, an antique. Cool. I thought I did a good job of cleaning the bolt, but I thought, what the heck, and disassembled the bolt again and sprayed it down. The next morning, he was amazed at what he removed after being sprayed down. Deep Creep now on the payroll for that, and reloading presses that always get gummed up. Keep up the good work, and that you and everybody else does, keeping us sane and informed in Warsaw, Minnesota.
Warsaw.
Wow. Which Chris Reavers says is a real city, a real town.
Didn't know that.
On a channel.
The only thing I want to add is find those Seafoam products where fine automotive products are sold. Wonderful products in a world gone weird. Seafoam.
You got the two good front teeth, too.
Here's a man who spends hours in hardware stores, sifting through the nuts and bolts of life. Joe Souchere.
I know I shared this earlier in the week, but I thought it was worth repeating. I got a great email from Michael Burt. He is the chief nut, not the big nut, but the chief nut, that just wanted to express his appreciation and gratitude for all of you GLers that help support the Annunciation community. And we are more than happy to do that, Michael, for you and everybody that suffered through that tragedy. So here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, some fresh news from We Are Nuts and wearenutsmn.com right now. Through the end of the month of September, We Are Nuts is on sale, 25% off at all Kowalski's Markets and, of course, Lunds and Byerly's. They've got those cool end caps and displays that you've seen already at Fratelloni's Hardware and Garden Stores, now at Kowalski's and Lunds and Byerly's. It's great handmade snacks right here in the great state of Minnesota, and it's a wonderful family. And if you're not able to make it to one of those locations, just go online to wearenutsmn.com, and as long as you're on that website, you can see all of the snacks that they have to offer, whether you are looking for the mayor's brand new favorite, the bourbon toffee almonds, or the cinnamon toasted almonds, or peanuts, excuse me. They're great snacks, and it's a wonderful family, and it's a great relationship we have with We Are Nuts and wearenutsmn.com. Johnny?
Thank you, Chris. I'd like to point out this week, I'm getting a little worried about myself. I ate another whole jar of the maple bourbon almonds.
What is wrong with you?
It's your new bites. I love it.
I'll tell you what, man. They keep you regular.
Oh, yeah.
But they shouldn't be your only source of protein, John. You need
they pretty much have been this week. Okay. I'm sorry.
Oh, they're not. They're good for you.
Oh, I know, but not a jar every day.
Well, not every day.
I mean, We Are Nuts are going to say that.
Who are you here to judge, huh?
True.
Every 3 days.
What about a jar of pickles? I killed a jar of pickles in 2 days.
I like a pickle.
What does your stomach say?
I like a good
jar?
pickle.
A jar?
Have you tasted them, man?
You did.
Well,
I know they're
but
good, but
you had the roommate's pickles, right?
Yes, they're delicious.
Well, that sounds kinky, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does.
How'd you like the roommate's pickles there, buddy?
I thought they were great.
Hey, a little spicy.
In national and international news,
There were some pickles.
Highlights of a very interesting Wall Street Journal story. The good news, fentanyl use in the U.S. began dropping in mid-2023. It's been declining since, according to the data for the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention. The bad news, cocaine consumption and use in western U.S. is up 154% since 2019 and up 20% in the eastern part of the country during that same period. For new users, cocaine doesn't carry the stigma of fentanyl addiction. Middle-class addicts and the tragic spectacle of homeless crack cocaine users in the 90s helped put a lid on America's first cocaine epidemic. Colombia right now is producing record amounts of cocaine, according to the story, and the volume of the drug arriving in the U.S. is driving down prices. Cocaine prices have fallen by nearly half to around $60 to $75 a gram compared with 5 years ago. That, according to Morgan Godwin, a researcher with the community organization Drug Checking Los Angeles. The Jalisco cartel controls the cocaine trade, and they also draw steady revenue from diverse sources outside of narcotics. The cartel acts as a parallel government in Jalisco, that's a state in Mexico, taxes such goods as tortillas, chicken, cigarettes, and beer, according to security experts. It controls construction companies that build roads, schools, and sewers for the municipal governments that are under cartel control. President Donald Trump says he is designating the far-left anti-fascism movement Antifa as a terrorist organization. It wasn't immediately clear what mechanism Trump would use to make this designation, and there's a little bit of a problem with all this. Antifa, short for anti-fascists, is not a structured group. rather a more nebulous social movement. There's no leader, no committee, no dues paid by members, no buildings, no nothing. The term Antifa is used to define a broad group of people whose political beliefs lean toward the often far left. The group doesn't have an official leader or headquarters.
Sounds like the Pioneer Press.
You got a building, Joe?
We don't have a building. We got a leader.
In poll news, the president has told Fox News' Martha McCallum that the network needs to hire a new pollster. When he was asked about his recent poor polling.
You didn't like the last poll, John?
That's correct.
Oh, I see.
McCallum asked during a one-on-one interview from the United Kingdom, "We do see polling that doesn't poll well for the economy. The recent Fox polling said 52% say the economy is worse under this administration than the last." Trump responded, "Well, when the factories start opening, I mean, right now we're building them, you know. And Fox polling, I have to tell you, I've told you before, it's the worst polling I've ever had.
Right.
During the election, they had me winning by a little bit, not by my massive amount. And Fox polling, I've told Rupert Murdoch, go get yourself a new pollster because he stinks. The economy remains the most...
He ain't proven... Hey.
Got it.
Yeah, huh? The economy, according to the new Fox News survey, remains the most important issue to voters. The poll found that 37% of voters think it's the most important issue. Immigration and border security reviewed as the most important by 13% of the voters.
So did Fox run out and get a new pollster?
Not that I'm aware of.
All right.
Meanwhile, a new NORC Center for Public Affairs AP poll says that Republicans' outlook on the direction of the country has soured dramatically since its last poll. The poll says the share of Republicans who see the country headed in the right direction has fallen sharply in recent months. Today, only about half in the GOP say the nation is on the right course. That's down from 70% in June, and the shift is even more glaring among Republican women and the party's under 45 crowd. GOP women's view of the nation's course has shifted almost as much as younger Republicans. About 3/4 of Republican women say the country is going in the wrong direction, up from only 27% back in June. Erica Kirk has been named CEO of Turning Point USA, the youth organization founded and led by her husband, Charlie Kirk. In addition to serving as CEO, Erica will also chair the group's board of directors, according to the announcement yesterday. The board said Charlie Kirk had expressed that he did want his wife to take over in the event of his death. The vote was unanimous.
You know, that funeral for Kirk is Sunday. I believe where did the Cardinals play, the Arizona Cardinals?
I don't know the name of the stadium.
Well, it's a big stadium.
Yeah, it's a big stadium. Yep.
State Farm?
In Glendale.
In Glendale. Well, that's where it's going to be. And that's going to be quite a security operation for all concerned.
Yeah, they already have on you, if you Google that, security, all sorts of different measures being taken to make sure there's no shenanigans.
Access to COVID-19 shots. The big question is Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s new vaccine advisors meet again today after putting off a controversial vote on a different vaccine for newborns. People in many states already are reporting frustration as they try to determine or prove if they qualify for updated COVID-19 vaccines. The Food and Drug Administration recently put new restrictions on this year's shots from Pfizer, Moderna, and Novavax, reserving them for people over 65 or younger ones who are deemed at higher risk. Now, advisors to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention have to take the next step, recommending who should seek them, a move that influences insurance coverage and how pharmacists in certain states can administer them. The panel is taking up COVID-19 vaccinations today again as the virus remains a public health threat. CDC data released in June shows the virus resulted in 32,000 to 50,000 U.S. deaths last year and more than 250,000 hospitalizations last fall and winter. Meanwhile, in a surprise move this morning, the panel of vaccine advisors to the government backed off from a proposed change to the vaccine schedule that would have scrapped the current recommendation that all children receive the hepatitis B shot at birth. It also reversed a vote it took yesterday on coverage of a shot known as the MMRV, measles, mumps, rubella, and chickenpox. Yesterday, the panel said the Vaccines for Children program could cover the combined shot if parents want it. Today, they voted that it shouldn't.
Say, John, I'm sorry. I said Kirk's funeral is Sunday. Is that a fact? That's an NFL day. Maybe it's Saturday. I don't know. I know it's this weekend.
Doors open at 8 for the 11 o'clock program. I'm trying to see. Trying to see there, cowboy.
Go to the top.
Super Bowl level security.
Go to the top.
Doesn't say.
Doesn't say what
the
date.
date.
Interesting.
We'll look at another source.
I will.
Update. We'll remember this woman, Marilyn
I'm
Haggerty.
sorry to interrupt, John.
Yeah, that's
Sunday. It is going to be Sunday.
That's surprising.
Maybe the Cardinals are on the road.
Well, obviously.
It is at State Farm
It
Stadium.
ain't going to be held
Glendale.
during halftime.
Jeez.
Hey, Gabe, could I get the time and temp?
Yeah.
Marilyn Haggerty.
Marilyn Haggerty.
Remember Marilyn?
I don't. Who is Marilyn Haggerty?
Marilyn, a North Dakota newspaper columnist
I do.
whose earnest review of her local Olive Garden restaurant became a social media sensation, died this week. She was 99.
It wasn't a social media sensation. The East Coast ripped the hell out of her.
Haggerty died at a hospital in Grand Forks from complications related to a stroke, according to her daughter, Gail. She remembered Mom as a journalist at heart who was more interested in giving readers an honest assessment of what to expect from a restaurant than in being critical. Her 2012 Olive Garden piece was unique and authentic, Gail said. In the review, she famously wrote in praise of the chain's chicken Alfredo as a warm and comforting meal on a cold day. It spread on social media and drew national media attention. Gail said she was everywhere and she loved it, and it was a wonderful experience, although she had to ask my brother, what does it mean if you go viral? She didn't know what it meant.
Didn't she write about the rolls, John? She was pleased with the rolls they had.
The breadsticks.
Breadsticks, that was it.
The breadsticks.
And they're bottomless.
Yeah.
Bottomless breadsticks and salad. The media attention even drew in Anthony Bourdain.
Anthony Bourdain.
Really?
He because, as Joe said, she was somewhat ridiculed by a lot of folks. Anthony came in and defended Haggerty on
good
Twitter
for Anthony.
from those who ridiculed her embrace of the Olive Garden chain's food. He met with her and went on to publish a book of her columns, also writing the foreword for the book. In a 2014 interview conducted by oral historian Terry Finneman, Haggerty said the response to her review was unbelievable, including countless emails and phone calls, as well as TV interviews and a tour of New York City. Haggerty was born May 30th, 1926 in Pierre, South Dakota. Her newspaper career began while she was in high school when she helped the editor of the Pierre Capital Journal and wrote city briefs. She earned a journalism degree from the University of South Dakota. And she added, the daughter added that Haggerty was a journalist at heart who took the effort to get to know the community. She was beloved in Grand Forks due to her long career and community involvement. In 2002, a lift station was dedicated and named in her honor. Haggerty arrived at the ceremony on a restaurant owner's motorcycle. Haggerty was writing at least occasionally for the Grand Forks Herald until last year.
Yeah.
A lift station?
LYFT?
No.
LIFT.
What is that?
It's something that raises up.
Isn't it a water? Like a
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It's a public utility building that lifts water and other things.
Lift station. That was very
Lift
popular
That's
in
a
North
hell of
Dakota.
a thing to name for her.
brings it up?
Yeah.
Well, it's Grand Forks. What do you want? I mean, you know.
All right, Jen. Thank you so much.
Hold on one second, Joe.
Sorry, Grand
before
Forks.
Matthew gives us his ad.
Yeah.
Arizona is at San Francisco on Sunday.
Well, I would have imagined
325.
We got to get them all out of there. We got quite a crowd there.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I'll tell you what. Now, during this nice little pause, I get to tell you about civility. I get to tell you about Minnesota Masonic. They do a wonderful, wonderful job of course, what we talk about here in Garage Logic, being civil. For a couple of years now on GL, I have shared with you some of the great things the Minnesota Freemasons are doing, donating millions of dollars annually to support cancer research, healthy aging studies, and children's communication disorders, just to name a few of the things that they do. The Freemasons, as they walk into the wall throughout Minnesota, are working together to make the world a better place. Doors you can walk through, focusing on core values, authentic friendship, personal growth, and helping those in need. If you want to hear more and learn more, go to mnfreemasons.org. Also, you and your family are invited to pay attention to the Masonic Civility Project. The Civility Project is aimed at rediscovering the power of respect, empathy, and connection. The initiative invites the next generation to reclaim civility. How? You know what I'm talking about. Real conversations, timeless etiquette, and building community. More info at mnmasoniccharities.org/civility project to find out when the next one will be. That's mnmasoniccharities.org/civility project. Yeah.
Hey, Pat.
Yes, Joseph.
Not one, but two Minnesotans, prominent Minnesotans lost, John Harris and Jim Faunhorst.
Yeah, right. Really, John was a shock to me.
Me too.
He had, I didn't hear about this, but I mean, I just heard he wasn't feeling great, but he was in Florida last year and he had a bout with leukemia. And they seem to have it under control. And I was told by Bill Holmeyer, who was John's business partner for a lot of years and golfing buddy, and that 2 days before this, so like in the middle of the week, one of those nice days, he played golf with POTUS, the pro, and shot even par. And then he came home and had a episode, and they took him to the hospital, and even though he wasn't feeling that bad, his blood counts were so bad that they told him he wasn't going to make it out of the hospital.
He's only 73.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty, I was telling people I would have made a deal with the devil to let me last as long as John Harris. He was a handsome, still had all his hair, and was, always the most confident, sure of himself guy you could beat. Great hockey player, too.
Well, he won a title with Herbie in 74, and then he was Big Ten individual champion in golf.
Same year,
same year.
In March, he won the hockey championship, and in May or June, he won the Big Ten golf title. Yeah, he was, and most amazing feat of all, I think he was 43 when he won the U.S. Am. 40-year-olds don't win the U.S. Am anymore.
Right.
22-year-old kids who hit it out, and he beat a bunch of kids when he won it then, and then he decided to go out on the seniors, and he actually won one event there on the seniors. He wasn't, that was not making a great livelihood for him, but he did enjoy the competition and still played. And, he died a country club member, and they called him the Reverend because he was right about everything, so, but a really good guy, and I hadn't seen him in a couple of years, and man, I didn't know that this was even a possibility. So I hadn't heard that he was not feeling that he had a issue like this, and I was shocked.
There are two Faunhorst, right? Keith and Jim.
Keith and Jim, and they both died at age 66. Keith was 6 or 7 years older, and Keith died in 2018 of I don't know what he died from, but playing football probably. And then Jim died at I saw that he had some kind, I don't know what the thing was, but he died at 66. St. Cloud Tech guys, and they managed to hook up and be on one of those 49ers championship teams together. And Faunhorst, Jim, as a linebacker, won three NFC titles, and they were both Gophers, and Harris was a Gopher. The athletes in Minnesota just used to automatically become Gophers. They were really good, but not so much anymore. But yeah, it was a shocker. Last night I was at they had a party for Jim Marshall at his with the Vikings, and they had maybe 300 people there and was they had a little programming, not a long one, but most of the old Vikes showed up, and man alive, it's you get old quick when you played football your whole career, man. There's some fellas that are moving around, not looking too good, to say the least. So,
no, I'm surprised kids still play it, to tell you the truth.
But hell, they're more popular than it's ever been. But it's they don't let them like go up and hammer them with the forearm and all that stuff anymore. But it doesn't make any difference because these athletes, because they're playing the game 20% faster than they did 20 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, the athletes are just so ungodly good and hit so hard and legal. They can legally hit harder than the boys could illegally hit 20 years ago. So,
are you going to any high school games?
I tonight am going to go. I got the 80th birthday party for the Fulda class of whatever year that was on Saturday night. So
what do you
tonight,
mean? What do you mean the 80th? It's not
they
been that long.
decided to have their last ever reunion by when everybody was turning 80 the year. So
okay.
they're not. So they figured because if they wait 3 more years,
that's it. Then
another 20% will be dead. So they figured while they still had a few remnants, they'd try to do that. So
what percentage of your class is still among us, Pat? Is it half?
Oh, I don't think half. Maybe half if they're lucky.
So where is this function?
It's at a winery outside. Are you ready for this? Round Lake, Minnesota.
Oh boy!
Yeah, those sophisticated classmates of yours love to go to wineries.
Yeah, I know. What is that? I don't. But they found this place. And apparently, there's a bunch of these little wineries outstate Minnesota.
I was going to say, Pat, I bet what it is, in all honesty, is probably a nice wedding venue. Seriously, because there's a couple of them that are out my way. I bet that's what it is.
I am very upset by this trend of having weddings in nice places. Weddings are supposed to be in Legion clubs with a polka band, with everybody drunk. That's supposed to be a wedding, not this dignified stuff.
How about a nice wedding after a carp fry or whatever the heck it was when you went to a dance?
No, they had a dance. They didn't have a wedding after the carp. They had a dance.
Oh, my God. A carp fry? See you later.
Oh, that was a big deal.
It was Fisher-rama, for God's sake.
Smoked carp.
Fisher-rama.
Yeah. And then upstairs was a dance.
The bullhead sandwich.
No, bullheads are clean, tasty fish compared to carp.
I ain't eat that no place called Rama.
Right.
The pranks, the fatal pranks we pulled on carp when I was a kid, I would not like to have repeated. I can't repeat this, but we were not kind.
But you smoked the hell out of them. They weren't bad.
Oh, they were great.
Yeah.
Plus, you could say these places that kind of work with when the people can't get their bowels moving like they should.
Yes, they'll make it regular.
They should just have smoked carp. Here you go. Take a couple of these.
Eat some carp. You'll be fine.
You'll be. Yeah, nobody will be wanting me with 100 miles here if you take this stuff.
But the concept of eating carp, smoked, cooked, fried, whatever, what
Not
carp
good.
eat, I don't want to.
They're bottom feeders.
I don't want to eat that fish because of what it's eaten its whole life.
Yeah, well, unbelievable.
Well, you got the hot series with the tribe in here today.
Anyway,
not the tribe,
Anyway, you were asking me if I was going to go to a game. I'm going to go watch the Wabasso Rabbits, who have switched from 11-man to 9-man, finally, this little tiny town. They're playing at New Ulm tonight. And,
when are you leaving?
About 3.
Oh, okay. New Ulm.
Very casual.
I'm writing. I'm trying to finish a column on this Pitlick kid, Tyler Pitlick. It's hard to keep your Pitlick straight. You got too damn many of them, So.
Just make sure it's done by 5, okay?
Oh God, well, no. When we have a 5 o'clock drop dead, that means it's going to be about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I hope that the editors are prepared for some Des Moines jokes in the Turkey of the Year column.
Oh God,
boy!
I hope so too.
Yeah.
Well, that's a giveaway.
I know one thing. The meeting's going to take place in Des Moines. I know that for the final.
So for a Thanksgiving Day publication, you'll have to get that in by what, November 1st?
Well, that's right. Oh, God, yes.
Has the banquet ever been held outside of Minnesota?
No, it won't. But that's where the turkey. That's the joke, boys. That's the joke. He just came up to it. To the Grand Turkey Year banquet at some place in Des Moines.
We'll find a Legion Hall, where they're having a bad wedding.
With a carp fry.
Yeah.
That'll be it. Yeah, they have no sense of humor over there anymore. There's a fighting chance it'll get pulled, but what do I care? So, anyway.
It's just tradition. It's only tradition.
I'll talk to you Monday.
See ya.
All right,
Goodbye.
very good. Thank you.
Oh, that's right. We got to do this thing here. And then it's scramble time, bruh.
What thing?
Yeah.
Where's the syrup guy?
Friday.
Finally. Thank God today is Friday. TGTI Friday. It's the scramble.
You're darn right it is. And I got a text yesterday from our buddy Larry with Harmony Spirits. He said, "Hey, Reeves, I just wanted you to make mention to thank all of the GLers that have stopped in at the tasting room this past weekend. It's really cool to have the GLers stopping by to say hi and have interest in our products. GLers, way to go for stopping in at the tasting room and saying hi to the crew." And that's the thing. It's handcrafted spirits made right here in our own backyard. It's our buddies at Harmony Spirits. It's going to be another nice weekend. Might be a great time to, hop on the bike, get in the car, do whatever. I don't care. Just stop by and say hi to the crew. Here's their cocktail menu that's going on right now, by the way, at Harmony Spirits. And you can find it on their Facebook page. It's Harmony Spirits Distillery on Facebook. Rook, blackberry lemonade still on the cocktail menu.
Ooh.
The orange bliss, which is vodka, orange juice, amaretto, and triple sec. The caramel apple, rum, apple cider, and caramel syrup. That sounds pretty good.
That would be very popular in my home.
Some people say caramel.
Isn't it caramel?
I think
it's caramel.
It's caramel.
Caramel.
Probably both ways.
But it's caramel apple, but it's caramel.
What are you, an aristocrat or something? Yeah. It's caramel.
But it's Carmel, California.
That's true. Anywho's, but go by the taste room, say hi to the crew. But what you can really do to help out our friends at Harmony Spirits is go into your local liquor store and ask for the Harmony brand by name. Doesn't matter what you're in the mood for. Vodka, the gin, the rum, the bourbon barrel-aged whiskey. It's all fantastic stuff. It's grain to glass, made right here in Harmony, Minnesota. It's harmonyspirits.net as well.
Say, I have wonderful news. The GLer of the week gets the Masters Maple gift box, right?
Yes, sir.
And it's, you ready?
Do you need it again?
Victoria Samuelson of Two Harbors, Minnesota.
Okay.
So, Victoria, you're going to
north.
get that box of syrup and seasoning from its Masters Maple.
That's right. Masters Maples. Clem.
Masters Maples.
We got Victoria's from Two Harbors.
And Victoria Samuelson is the GLer of the week. And I have her shipping information here. And
don't give that out.
I don't have to do that.
She's from Two's Harbor.
It's congratulations, Victoria. You are the GLer of the week.
And you can find out more and sign up right now at garagelogic.com and how you can become the GLer of the week.
You know, only because they come to us all the way from the traveling linemen who are on Santa Marty, Barcelona, Spain.
Mm.
I have a new listener in my family that just became a mother, and she has now become a daily listener.
Why is she a new listener?
she's been busy, but she's had some time to listen.
Yeah.
And she inquired about this segment of the show, saying, "What the hell is this?" Why did they send it?
It's only because we get this from around the world.
Yes, yeah. I tried to explain it to her.
Yeah.
And then her mother chimed in saying, "I don't get it either, but they do it every day."
Well, yeah.
This woman has been around GL since its inception.
Yes.
And now she's just kind of getting around to it.
She's just kind of getting around to it. Do you guys do music or just talk?
Well, it was on this day,
September 19th.
Yes.
1857. Gaslights illuminated the streets of St. Paul for the first time.
Young lady, you don't get information like this anywhere else. That's what I try to tell
Do you
you.
still have lights that work in St. Paul?
There's a few.
She might have gotten it last year, Brooke.
On this day,
September 19th.
in 1865, another governor I hadn't heard of, Governor Stephen Miller, well, I probably heard of him last year on this date. Governor Stephen Miller announced that gold had been found near Vermilion, Lake Vermilion, based on a rock collected by state geologist Henry H. Eames. A gold rush began but came to nothing, as no sizable amount of gold was ever found in the area.
It's a good, cheap marketing trick, isn't it?
The exploitation of the rich iron ore of the region began 20 years later. On this day,
September 19.
in 1930, Dieudonné Coste and Maurice Belante, Frenchmen who had made the first east-to-west transatlantic flight, were celebrated at Wold Chamberlain Field in Minneapolis, which is what we now call our airport, Terminal 1 and 2.
Yeah.
That was Wold Chamberlain back in the old days. On this day,
Great brand out of.
on this day,
September 9th.
in 1970, what famous television show made its debut?
Oh, come to Papa.
Yeah.
1970?
Yep.
The Jeffersons.
Nope.
Mary Tyler Moore.
Mary Tyler Moore.
Oh, Minnesota-based. Got it.
Fictional television
Because it's not this day in
I know,
New
you're
York
right.
history.
Yeah, sure.
Fictional television character Mary Richards moved to Minneapolis and threw her hat into the air right there on the Nicollet Mall, and the Mary Tyler Moore Show began its run. I think it only lasted about, what, 6, 7 years?
Something like
maybe. But she was a must-watch back in the day.
Was Ted Baxter the weather guy, or was he the main anchor?
Newsman. He was the
Okay.
anchor.
Got it.
They didn't have a weather guy.
What car did she drive
It looked
into
like
Minneapolis?
a very early Mustang.
You got that right,
Yeah,
boy.
yeah.
Yep.
What do you know about Murray?
He was on Love Boat.
Yeah, Captain Stubing. There was a great episode when Rhonda Fleming came on
God. On this day in sports disappointment history.
I love that you guessed the Jeffersons and you were serious.
I know. I really thought I had it, too.
I don't think
I forgot it was Minnesota history. I did.
Jeffersons were probably late 70s.
Moving on up, you know.
I know. He's a dry cleaner, wasn't he?
He was a dry cleaner.
Yeah.
Didn't he live next to Archie?
On this day,
September 19.
Neighbor.
1926, the Duluth Kellys were reborn as the Eskimos and won their first game 7-0 over the KC Cowboys. I think we're talking primitive professional football.
Leather
there.
helmets?
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah. On this day,
On September 19.
in 1985, Jim McMahon came off the bench and threw 3 touchdowns in the third quarter. For the Vikings?
No, for the Bears.
Well, that's why it's a disappointment then. Huh?
Right.
Did the Bears win that game?
Yes, because that's the year they won the Super Bowl.
Oh, that's right. On this day,
In fact, they only lost one game all season, remember? They lost to the Dolphins.
on this day
September 19th.
in 2018, Jimmy Butler requested a trade.
That did not end well.
He was a dink.
Is he still in the league?
Did you say dink?
Playing for Golden State.
Hey, Garage Logicians. Stick around for a preview of American Experiment's latest podcast with Grace Keating and Katherine Johnson. This week, we're unpacking Walz's announcement for a third-term run for governor and our breaking poll results.
Some breaking poll results we have exclusively for our listeners of the podcast.
50% of Minnesotans say fraud will be a major factor in their vote for governor next year. And when you say fraud's a major factor in my decision on governor, and Governor Tim Walz specifically, we mentioned his name, they're not thinking he's done a great job on fraud and it's a major factor why I'm going to reelect him.
Yeah.
And all the results of the poll show, no, they're concerned about fraud, they're aware of fraud, and they're going to hold Tim Walz accountable. 50%. That's a huge number there.
This is a cross-section of Republicans and Democrats, right? It's balanced for political party, or how does that work?
Yep. They call 500 people. There's a plus or minus error rate of like 4.38%. And yeah, it's a cross section of Minnesotans. And the other thing we don't have a slide for it, but there's a suburban problem. People in the suburbs are even more concerned about fraud and more upset about fraud and more likely to hold him accountable in fraud than even the rest of the state. So that's kind of interesting. And the suburbs are going to be the battleground, as always, for a political race. So suburban voters, and I wish we would have asked them why. I wish we'd have gone in one more question deep or done a focus group to say, why are suburban voters more concerned about fraud? We think it's just that if you think of a typical suburban voter, they might be mostly okay with a lot of things that are going on in government, but they also pay high taxes, and they're mostly okay with that. But they're seeing, well, don't waste my money.
Mm-hmm.
I can put up with some of this nonsense, but I want to support my local schools and funding for K-12 schools, but don't waste it. Don't lose it to fraud. So there's a suburban problem there that kind of comes out in the poll this week, which I think is fascinating.
I think suburban voters are seeing so much of their money go out the door and getting so little back for it, even when it comes to things like childcare, which I was talking to Martha, our economist, about the other day, where we have some of the highest rates of childcare in the nation. It's really expensive to be a suburban family with kids that, are just trying to get by every day. You see so much of your money go out the door, and then when you turn on the news at night and you see it's been wasted, that's extremely concerning, I think, to most people. And partially, I found it interesting why in that video we just watched, he really focused on his kind of like rural attitude.
Persona.
Yeah. He really seems to, I go to all corners of Minnesota when maybe I'm wrong, but to me, that doesn't seem like the battleground anymore. The rural areas, they're lost, I feel, to Tim Walz.
Yes.
Why isn't he more focused on those suburban voters? I wonder. I don't know.
That was a quick preview of the content you'll find on the American Experiment podcast. Come check out the rest of our conversation at americanexperiment.org/podcast or by searching American Experiment Podcast on YouTube or any major podcasting platform. New episodes drop every Tuesday afternoon. See you soon.